okay, this is going to be the worst thing that has happened to Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. Now, in the past, we have seen what happened with them, especially when it comes to Spotify creating content for them and also for Netflix. We have seen that Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, they were not able to come up with any idea. In other words, no content means no idea. We do not know what to do. And at the same time, we know that Spotify, Netflix, they were not very confident. They did not feel this comfort that they should put Harry and Meghan on the limelight once again after Oprah Winfrey interview, for which they will be successful. Netflix and Spotify, they wanted Meghan Markle, Prince Harry, these two, for them valuable employees. They wanted them to have some time to think over it, come up with something great, so come up with something that is extraordinary, something very, very different than most people are talking or making shows on Netflix or talking on Spotify. So they were given this time. Now, you might say this is something really, really bad. They are not being able to come up with ideas to create content and whatnot. And you'll be right that this is going to be a disaster. And this is already a disaster for Meghan and Harry, that they are not able to produce any content and therefore losing a lot of money. They're not able to make anything, quite frankly, from Netflix and Spotify. And it's going on for a long time, for quite some time now. So this is the time when they should be making some money, because, how long you can go by without having a steady source of income? You cannot go on forever. But looks like this news that I'm going to be sharing with you in a second, this news has destroyed all their hopes. It ruined their hopes, because they were pinning their hopes on this, that at one point we will be able to come up with some content idea. We're given so much time, and we are now ready. So when they are almost going to be presenting their content, and we know Spotify, they have said that Meghan Markle, you can be the executive, a producer, and Harry, you can do the show, you can do the talking, you can do the podcast. And they said, Harry, you can be the producer, and Meghan can be running the podcast, and vice versa. So that was the plan, and that was very, very solid. People liked it, and they said, this will involve minimum risk, maximum gain. But now, as you can see, what is happening with Spotify is that they are really still lagging behind the schedule. They're still lagging behind a lot of things when it comes to Meghan Markle, Prince Harry broadcasting their podcast. Now, to make things worse, Spotify is not feeling that confident in Meghan and Harry, because they're seeing Netflix is not creating any show with them either. So why should we take risk? Because remember, every second they spend on Spotify has to pay Meghan Markle and Prince Harry a huge amount. The money is huge. It's humongous money, like unbelievable. When I first heard the amount, I was like, man, you're paying Meghan Markle and Prince Harry just for this, like just to talk, and you're paying insane amount of money. Well, you might say, well, that was also really, really bad for Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, because they were not able to make profit out of that podcast deal, which they found to be very, very lucrative. And a lot of people, they said this is going to be a huge payment for Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. But now we know that Netflix is losing subscribers. They're going to be losing a lot more money. They have already lost thousands of subscribers, millions of dollars, and it is going to be continuing on because of the world situation right now, the way it is going with all the pandemic and whatnot, and the supply chain, whatever it is. Netflix, now they are not going to give Meghan Markle, Prince Harry the platform. It's not going to be a free check. It is going to be a platform still for them. It will remain open for Meghan Markle, Prince Harry. However, they're not going to get a free paycheck. They need to work for it. They need to prove themselves. If Meghan Markle, let's say Prince Harry, they produce content, and Netflix, they are not gaining anything from that particular content, that particular video or particular show, then guess what? Netflix will be like, their margin for error is very, very little right now. It's narrowing every single day, because they are seeing people are not watching their content anymore. They're canceling out the whole subscription. So again, for Meghan Markle, Prince Harry, when they will be producing and they will be publishing a lot of videos and contents on Netflix, because we all know they are trying to do it for a long time, since what I remember from the New York trip, when they made this New York trip, the videographers were following them, and now they are also taking the photographers to the videographers to the Invictus game. They're taking them everywhere, even when they met the Queen, they probably took the videographer just to get some publicity, just to give more reason for people to watch, using grandma's name. Why not make some money? This is probably gonna be this had been the mentality of Prince Harry anyway. So now they are going to be producing this content, and they cannot make much error. They cannot tell Netflix, oh, maybe this show was flop, let me try again. For Netflix, that is not going to happen. Why? Because Netflix is like, if we pay you millions of dollars, and at the same time we are not getting anything, or we are not be able to make that much of a profit, then why should we keep you? What is the reason for that? So Netflix is going to be very, very now, I should say, they will not have that much of freedom, or make margin of error should be very, very narrow. Let's take a look at this particular report, because I found this to be very, very interesting. As you can see right here, I'm going to be letting you also read at the same time when I'm reading. So a royal expert thinks that Meghan Markle and Prince Harry made a grave mistake by leaving the royal family, and that they, quote unquote, underestimated how hard life would be without the royal family. Now, this was reported on Express UK. Tina Brown, the royal editor for Vanity Fair and the author of various royal books, including the Palace Papers, recently commented on Harry Meghan's life since moving away from the British royal family in 2020. Now, talking to Washington Post Live, Brown said they both completely underestimated what is going to be life like without the Palace platform. Now, Tina Brown, what she is saying now, it is something I said from the very beginning, that life is going to be very, very stressful for Harry. It is going to be it will reach to a point where he will have to weigh his options, and Meghan has to be on the list, leaving Meghan for good, taking other option instead. It is going to be something that Harry will face very, very soon. So for Meghan, this will be devastating, because Meghan Markle thought, well, you know what, he loves me more than anything else, which he does, as long as the royal is paying him for that. His love for Meghan Markle, it came without any cost. Every time he would take her out on a drink, or a dinner, or a lunch, it is paid by who? Not from his own pocket. It is from the British royal family, the money they receive. So now he will have to think about it. Well, if I take Meghan out on a date, on a dinner, then I have to make money for that. I have to earn the money for that. Before I did not. So for Harry, as I said, it's going to be a much more difficult, much more challenging to keep his love with him, especially since they have moved out. Now they have to maintain this long distance, going back and forth to UK and US. It is going to be a lot more stressful for Prince Harry, trust me. And what I see coming is not good. Quote, the palace, as you can see, has amazing convening power. Every major invitation in the world comes through that conduit. All of that is now gone, she added. Of course, this is so true. Brown then explained Meghan does not really have a brand, which is so true. I can tell you, if you take Harry from the marriage, if you say, well, they cannot use the title, the Duchess. If you take Harry from the marriage, from Meghan's life, Meghan will be on the street the very next day, with wearing all this beautiful jewelry, nice dress and whatnot. I can tell you, like, the reason I actually put this picture here, as you can see, right, this picture, you can see Meghan Markle, dressing up, she's spending like thousands of dollars everywhere she goes, just on her dress. And this is not something sustainable for in the long term. And Meghan right now, she doesn't see it coming, that one day she will be broke, if in case Harry is gone, if the brand is suffering, the title is gone, everything is gone. They really do not have any brand, especially for Meghan Markle, and this is so true. And also for Prince Harry. I mean, once this everything is gone, once he is realizing, Meghan made my life a lot more stressful, much more difficult, harder, then by the time he will realize, guess what, it will be too late for him. He cannot make a comeback, because we have seen, actually I have presented this graph, the numbers, the other day, where I showed you guys that the popularity of Harry has tanked quite a bit, and it's very, very alarming that people in UK, they do not want him to be back there at all. Brown then explained, Meghan doesn't really have a brand. You feel that she is grasping at the Twitter caring of the moment. Vaccinations, Ukraine, women's rights, my 40th birthday. Let's have a mentoring scheme. Okay, nothing is really going anywhere for Meghan, according to Tina Brown. This is again not coming from me. It is coming from a lady who is always, reading the news, who is always in touch with the British royal family, who knows where things are going much better than a lot of us. So this is coming from an expert, in other words, and she is saying that this deal, with the Netflix and whatnot, is not going anywhere. Brown further claimed their Spotify podcast is going nowhere. Netflix is not doing so well. Are they going to renew the contract? Well, they may not, but most likely the contract is gone. I mean, Netflix doesn't have that much of tolerance anymore, or they cannot risk anymore. They cannot take any risk anymore, especially when it comes to Meghan Markle, Prince Harry. They already know how unpopular they are, especially in UK. So do you think that, I think it is going to be a disaster for Netflix and Netflix and companies like them to take any chance with Meghan Markle, Prince Harry, especially this time when things are really not going well. Companies, they're shutting down a lot of shows. People are canceling out, and if you want to present something to the world, it has to be something exciting, something different. You have to have that much of people have to have that much of interest in that. Further, their Spotify, she said, Brown claimed their Spotify podcast is going nowhere. Netflix is not doing so well. For the unversed, Harry and Meghan stepped back from royal duties in March 2020 and have since signed major entertainment deals with Netflix and Spotify. So again, this is going to be so true that their life is going to change after the Netflix fiasco. They have lost so many subscribers. They're now losing a lot of money, and taking risk with Meghan Markle, Prince Harry is going to be something. It could turn out to be the turning point, if you like, for Netflix. It could even become the biggest loss for them. Who knows? A lot of people, they don't like Meghan Markle, Prince Harry. Some people who are on the edge, thinking whether they should cancel Netflix or not, might make the decision based off of the fact that Netflix is very close to Meghan Markle, Prince Harry, and they're signing them for millions of dollars of deals. So they might cancel out just because of Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. I don't need Netflix because Netflix supports these two people. Who knows? We will see. Wait and see what happens to them. Thank you guys for joining in, for tuning in. If you are somebody new interested in this topic, consider subscribing. See you in the next video.